like Wendy Eppers, who have pledged their support at patreon.com/Jason Karen. So thank you, Wendy.
Thanks, Wendy.
Old school. Wendy's an old school supporter.
Yep.
Did you hear me and Lucy last week?
I loved it so much. I'm kind of in love with the two of you podcasting, and Lucy's great. And I have a very quick, a turbocharged, if you will, top 5 list about Lucy.
Oh, wow.
Number 5, she uses awesome little Britishisms like we and sorted.
I know.
And Z for Z.
She says we for small, yeah.
Yeah, it's so adorable. 4, her Scottish accent is one of the best things in the entire universe. 3, she has a lot of knowledge about the series. I mean, she can talk about the comic. She can talk, which she does. She can talk about Fear the Walking Dead. She basically knows pretty much everything about this Walking Dead universe. 2, she's funny, and especially she's funny with you, and the two of you are funny together. And her number 1 from last week was the same one as mine. So you guys debated it for a while, and she stood her ground, and she's just awesome. Lucy. So
yeah, I wanted to mention that. So yeah, she was talking about how the women handled everything versus the men, and I pointed out that the women actually wanted to kill the nice people and take all their stuff. And just like, yeah, well, but what I missed when I went back when I was editing, I realized I missed something that she said, which was that this woman Georgie, the way she was handling it contrasted with how Negan, they're both kind of like looking around at different groups and trying to incorporate them and help them along in their own way. But Negan just does it by domination and assimilation, and this other woman is trying to give knowledge. And I didn't even hear Lucy say that. So when I was listening back, I was like, oh yeah, she was totally right about that part. So I would not have argued with that part. Just
okay.
So people know.
Number 1A, she was also right.
But not so much about Maggie and
True.
What's her name? Who was it that just wanted to kill him?
And Enid. Yeah. It was great listening to the two of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Really
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I would like to have her do more stuff.
I'm a fangirl.
I'm glad to have my OG co-host back this week.
Thanks.
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, it's our Deadcast Top 5 this week. It's our Top 5 highlights for Season 8, Episode 13, Do Not Send Us Astray. What'd you think?
Do not. Well, I liked it, actually. I thought it had some pretty good stuff. Some stuff that was a little bit aggravating and probably has to be filed in the Department of... God, I forgot my own department.
Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief.
You know, I finally made an audio clip to introduce that segment. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Here it goes.
Bullshit!
I'm not calling bullshit. I'm simply saying that there are some things in here where I
you know
had
who
to
that
suspend.
is? That's Simon.
That is Simon. Yeah. I love him. I love that man. So overall, pretty good though. How about you?
I thought it was top tier Walking Dead. One of my favorite episodes of all time.
Look at you.
Especially, not just limited to, but especially the zombie stuff. Because, well, I'll get to it because that's one of my top 5s. But I was like, dude, I'm digging this episode. I'm digging it. And then that stuff started happening. I was like, oh my God, this is why I wanted this show to come on the air.
The zombies, they were genuinely scary, and it was suspenseful too. Yeah. That's one of my top 5.
All right, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is the Savior's plan to infect the Hilltop. Speaking of zombies, Savior's plan to infect Hilltop people actually worked. Mm-hmm. And I liked that they came up with something new because they've been doing this for a while now. And I guess they listened to Negan, who listened to Eugene. So really, this is all Eugene's fault. And while I may not like that they changed the rules of Zombieland, I do love that their weird new strategy worked. And I was yelling at the television, and I rarely do that nowadays. I rarely yell at the television and say, "Oh my God, they're turning." So I love that.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really well done. I loved that while they were all sleeping, there was a shot of the full moon, and David and I both said, "Oh my God, they're becoming werewolves."
Yeah, and that was a neat little. The show had some good direction, I thought, and they showed the digital clock at 2:13, and then they showed the moon, and then they showed it at 3:26, just to quickly show that time was passing, so it would make more sense for people to start zombifying, I guess.
Zombifying.
It's interesting that you mentioned it was indirectly Eugene's fault. I hadn't considered that. And he had his dopey idea of catapulting zombie parts, which is something you and I would say. But then Negan really just darkened that up by doing what they did. But it does go back to Eugene.
Yeah. Sorry, Eugene. It's kind of your fault.
He's just messing up all over the place.
He's messing up all over the place. He probably didn't mean to. And still, if people want to build a catapult and catapult zombies over the fence, I would love to see that.
I mean, he was saying parts, so that's a pretty dumb idea. Maybe heads might. Huh?
It's just easier to throw parts over.
Yeah. I mean, full bodies would be a little more lethal, or heads.
Yes. Lethal for hits and also a little more splatty.
What else?
Splatty. Did Tara get shot with an infected arrow?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So it looks like she was shot by Dwight.
Yes. And so I'm assuming he deliberately stepped in and took her out so that he could save her.
I'm nodding. You can't see it, but I'm nodding.
I can see it.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. So good.
Right?
I'm
Is that
hoping,
what you thought too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, another thing is that, everybody, actually, Daryl said that everyone who got hit got sick, but not all of them had turned yet. Or he didn't say yet. He said not all of them had turned. So I didn't know if that meant that he thought they would all turn or some of them just weren't turning. But either way, I think you were supposed to worry about Tara. But I just felt like it's pretty clear that Dwight is not on their side anymore. And so he did that to save her.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, shooting her in the back, though, it's kind of a risky thing.
I know. You got to be a good shot, which he doesn't seem to be. He was aiming for Abraham when he hit Tara or Denise. Right. What if he'd went to save her and just shot her through the head? Oh,
crap,
shit,
not again.
I was trying to save you. Simon's like, what did you say?
I was not aiming for that. So I think one of the best management...
Right. Shoot.
Also, I think if anybody is sick at this point and hasn't turned or recovering and hasn't turned yet, I think they should be strapped down or locked in a separate room or something. Yeah, exactly. So right now, if you haven't turned and you are sick and you're showing signs of infection, I think somebody needs to be posted right by your bedside.
It's like, I had a cold.
Right. Sorry. Don't kill me. I also love that zombies are bad at stairs.
Yeah, me too. and because it doesn't matter, they can fall down in the most violent way and even break a few limbs and still just stand up as best they can and get
shake
moving.
Themselves off and keep going. Yeah, I love that. I love also that that you can have a zombie fall down a flight of stairs, thunk, 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 and people will still, who are sleeping right next to the bottom of the stairs, will stay asleep.
Well, that's Department of Suspension and Disbelief.
Bullshit. Also, when you're bit, scream real loud. I mean, I saw a mouse in my office not too long ago, and I reverted to something primal and screamed and jumped on my chair like a cartoon character. Mm-hmm. I feel like if there's a zombie that's biting my shoulder, my leg, my arm, or whatever, I am setting off the scream that will wake everybody up. Mm-hmm. People, if you're being bit, scream.
You know, I kept reading people complaining about this stuff, but while I was watching, it didn't occur to me at all. I was too busy enjoying it. And and I wanted, when there's a zombie invasion from within. I mean, the closest thing probably that we've seen in the series is when people got sick in the prison, right?
Right.
But this was better, I thought. But anyways, I want it to have a good foothold before our heroes beat it back. So if everybody would have just woken up and gotten away right away, that would have sucked ass. That would have been so lame, you know? So I'd rather have Department of Suspension of Disbelief and have it the way it was than have it be sensible and boring.
You should not watch The Walking Dead with my husband.
Yeah, I get that
He
sense.
will logic the fuck out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see
Which
him write
you
an
don't want.
episode. Let's hear an episode that David writes. Everybody is fine.
Right, exactly.
Because they're
exactly. All right, what was your number 5?
Well, it's the same thing. Zed's From Within.
Yep.
And I really felt like this was one of the best zombie sequences of the whole series. I feel like saying the best, but I'm sure it's just the freshness of it in the moment that makes me feel that way. But what made it really good for me was first the scene with Carol and Tobin. And also the fact that I am totally forgetful and kind of dim helps me enjoy shows more sometimes because even though we just saw that whole buildup of the saviors covering their weapons with goop, and even though we know that whenever there's a heartfelt moment in The Walking Dead, there's a good chance one of those people is going to die. I just did not. I totally forgot about the weapons, and after the battle, I wasn't going, "Oh, I wonder when the zombies are going to come." I was just like, "Oh, good. They had a good victory there. They made it through fine." I wasn't even thinking about it. And so when Carol and Tobin got together, I was like, oh yeah, I've been wondering if, you know, it seems like the show forgot all about that, but they had a relationship. And I think Tobin, Jason Douglas, he's great.
He is.
And their interaction was really fun, and how he's being half sarcastic when she says, you know, I thought maybe it might actually have started to get real with you. Oh, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Yeah.
But he actually kind of meant it. You could tell, you know, because Carol's so closed off. And it was just really sweet. And so... But the point is to reinforce that they have this connection. And what The Walking Dead does so, to me, surprisingly little, that is one of the things that I love so much about zombies, is show what happens when someone that you care about turns into a zombie and starts trying to kill you and everyone. They just don't do that much. They did it with Merle, kind of. But this one, Tobin was like, serial killer zombie going after on the neck.
He got a bunch of kills in.
Yeah.
And when he was going for Carol, I thought, oh my God. I actually thought, oh my God, are they going to kill Carol off?
And then
because she stumbled.
Yeah, and they played the sad music right at the right time, and she paused, and she never pauses. But this is what it is about zombies, that when it's your loved one coming after you, it even shook up Carol, but she finally, you know, did the job, of course. But that moment was really powerful, and then not only that, but to have people that you just saw talking. Like that one guy that was complimenting Maggie on her leadership, and then he made a really good zombie. It just did the scene really well, that it actually seemed scary, and you heard the growls and the people shambling around and lots of red shirts getting bitten and everything. It was and the moon, and it was just great. And then we see everybody together attacking them. Rick and Daryl, Ezekiel, Michonne, like seasoned zombie killers who we have not seen together in the series before. And they're just, once they got control of the situation, quickly dispatched them, which I'm totally cool with because they have a lot of experience. So
it makes logical sense.
Yeah, it was great.
I agree. I completely agree. In fact, that leads into my number 4, which is... Michonne, she had my zombie kill of the week during that moment. Yeah, she used her katana, and we haven't seen her. Well, I guess we have seen her use the katana, but we haven't seen her use it. She used it
on a live person recently, I think. But yeah,
did she?
Yeah. After Carl died, I think someone was fucking with her, and she just stabbed him.
You're right. And I think at one point she sliced a head in half too, which was fabulous. And so I'm such a Michonne fangirl, and you know, there's little hearts in my eyes as I talk about her whenever she's on the screen. She's got everything. She's done TV, now she's done movies, she's done Broadway. She's basically everything. So she had my zombie kill of the week, which was the katana going into the zombie's head, and then you see it red and bloody on the other side. It's a classic kill, and it's wonderful. In fact, I think somebody needs to invent a drink called the katana, and every time Michonne kills a zombie with her sword, you have to drink. There it is. That's my drinking game. Also, I love
What's
that
in
when
it?
something delicious.
It's got to
and
be
red.
yeah. And syrupy.
Right, exactly. Listeners, please invent a drink called the katana that you need to drink when Michonne kills somebody in The Walking Dead. I thought it was funny when she goes into the bedroom where Rick is, and he's ripping boards off the windows with an axe.
And he's struggling.
And he's struggling. And she says, I saved you this turnip. And he says, yeah,
Like,
I'm okay.
No, thanks. I love that too.
Turnip, huh?
I liked it because it was a callback to them saying that they had an overgrowth of turnips that they were giving to the prisoners.
Right. I know they don't have much, and when you're starving, I'm sure a turnip looks delicious.
Yeah. It's like if someone came to me with a beet, it would be the same thing. Or I don't know what else, a big spongy eggplant. I'd be like, oh.
Here you go. Enjoy gnawing on this. And nobody wants a raw turnip just to, eat like an apple. But okay. So then she helps him rip the boards off the wall, or off the window.
With her bare hands.
With her bare hands. And he's using the axe, and she's just ripping them down with her hands. And I'm like, look at her go. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder if Denai Guerrero won't leave for greener pastures at some point soon.
Maybe she's now in the Marvel universe, and
did you see Black Panther yet?
I loved Black Panther.
Good, right? I think it's after this weekend,
movie.
it's going to be the highest grossing superhero movie ever.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep. It is. I loved Black Panther. I loved I lived in Oakland, so having a little Oakland love in the movie was amazing. I thought it was well written. I wanted to spend way more time in Wakanda. Mm-hmm. And I just loved it. I want it to be a real place. My sister-in-law actually told me that there's a Wakanda, like Illinois or something, and that it's becoming a tourist attraction.
Funny. Yeah, you got to find the secret, like high-tech little village in there or something.
We're made of vibranium.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vibranium.
Oh yeah, vibranium. Zombies must love vibranium.
Was it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Number 4. The battle and just the feel of the whole episode, because it had a lot of excitement that worked. Like there have been a lot of battles this season early on, and they just seem kind of scattered. And even in this battle, it was kind of hard to keep track sometimes, but for some reason I felt more invested in it. Did you?
I loved it.
I don't know why. Maybe because it's Hilltop being invaded and it's this place we know, or because the other battles have been taking place, I'm not sure where they are. But also it was from Maggie's point of view the whole time, and that might have helped feel more invested. But
and both sides used interesting strategies.
yeah, I mean, I thought there was some suspension of disbelief stuff going on in there. Like when the whole idea is to lure the saviors up, pretend that you've ran away, and then when they just walk, they must have run away. Let's walk straight up to the front door.
Let's
and then we machine gun them down. That's going to work. And it did work. Except they started to machine gun them, and they all ran away, and didn't any of them get hit. Didn't seem like.
They're really all bad shots.
Yeah. Anyways, but the first off, we saw the horn, and then the next person, and it was like a series of signals to get back. So that confirmed that was what Rick was actually going to do, but didn't last time, which Lucy and I wondered if that's what that was. And then when they go, okay, it's on, and they start getting ready for the battle. They're like, the saviors are coming. They played some really good music, and I like the music in the show, but this one I particularly thought was really cool. So I'm going to play like a 20-second clip of that. Here goes. It's kind of Old West.
It is.
It builds.
Here we go.
Oh, that's awesome. Here we go.
Yeah. So this episode had moments that got you pumped like that. I guess the music had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I thought, since we know that Simon just wants to kill everybody, Negan would have just wanted to kill one or two of them, that the stakes are actually higher.
Yeah.
Because it's Simon. And then Daryl rides up with his machine gun propped on his motorcycle. I actually thought that was pretty exciting.
Yes.
And rides past them all.
Yep.
And then let's see. I mean, if Negan would have been there, they probably would have shot at him, because usually they don't for some reason. But
and they would have missed, because that always happens, because he has some sort of invisible force field that repels bullets. Or like Wonder Woman, he uses his arm to throw bullets away. It seems to me also that there were stakes in the road that spikes in the road,
so the vehicles couldn't get too far in or something.
Yeah,
they were prepped,
brilliant.
man. I mean, I liked it. Yeah, Maggie, this is her whole plan: lure them in to a situation where they have the upper hand, and they also I like the floodlights. They lured them in there, blind them, and they're all like taking cover, but they have plenty of guns and ammo.
The headlights. Yeah. Headlights, as we know, when you've got your brights on, they're blinding. So I thought it was perfect.
And just as far as the direction, I think the direction of this episode was really good. And here's a little example that it's just a subtle thing, but creepy little kid Henry, he says he wants to fight, and Ezekiel says no. And then later, after the battle, you see Henry and Carol walking behind Rick, who's cleaning out his gun or something, reloading it. And you can hear in the background him saying, "I wouldn't have died if I went out there," to Carol. And I'm guessing in the script that was just the scene, but the director, who knows, but the director maybe just decided to put it in the background. And I just thought it was a nice little touch, Just a subtle little a creative thing where we get to eavesdrop on somebody else's conversation, but then they go off, and then you're focused in on Rick again.
Right, that is cool.
Mm-hmm. Then at the end, the prisoner saviors get free. Jared and a few of them run away, and then this nice guy savior Alden and a few others stayed. And I'm really happy Jared made out alive, because that means we get to see more asshole Jared in the future.
And it's sort of interesting. So Jared is the one who killed Benjamin.
Yeah.
Right?
Henry's brother.
Henry's brother. He's the actual one who was in the pen.
Yeah. And he's hiding behind somebody as creepy Henry's in there threatening them all.
Right. Exactly. And then Alden. So do we trust Alden? Is Alden a good guy?
Yeah.
He didn't leave. He's being helpful.
I mean, gosh, it seems like every time on this show when you trust someone, it turns out to be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Except for Enid, who everyone thought was a spy, but she's totally not. But I do trust
She's
him.
playing the long game.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing it. This guy, Alden, the actor, is playing it as if he's a good guy. I mean, yeah, I totally trust him. Although there is a part of me that's like, I might regret that.
Yeah.
I do.
He's been so brainwashed by Negan. It makes me wonder, wow, can you really be turned by Maggie, who you've seen kill one of your compatriots?
I just think in real life, if a group like the Saviors came along and you got wrapped up in it and you felt like, well, I better fucking toe the line or I'm going to die. And then another group came along that seemed like they were good people and had some strength, I would say, oh yeah, I want to be with these guys. I'm done with, you know what I mean?
Yes. You mean I don't have to kneel?
Yeah,
every time Maggie comes around?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
on.
That's nice.
Okay, number 3.
All right, so for me, the strategy of the fight at Hilltop, we've already talked about, and just another call out to Maggie, how she was a good strategist, and I love that the headlights were blinding the Saviors. So we pretty much covered that. I will say, I don't want to rain on the parade. I really don't, but I kind of have to get this off my chest. I'm going to get this off my chest. Taking nothing away from the terrific battle that it was, I wish that it wasn't one more time this is going to be, I mean, Simon said, this is the battle we're going to make this the conclusion or something like that. But basically said, this is the battle that concludes everything. We're going to wrap it all up. This is going to be the battle. Big, big battle. And pretty much, a couple saviors died. A couple of the hilltop people died because they turned. Some people died right there in the battle. Eventually, the saviors who were the prisoners of war escaped, but nothing really happened other than that. It didn't really settle anything. Both sides took loss, and then we're just back at square one. It didn't help move the story one way or the other. They fought, then the saviors retreated, and that's that. And I'm like, is it all just a bunch of wheel spinning? It feels like wheel spinning up until we get to the very end. I love the battle, don't get me wrong, but when Carol said to Tobin, I don't think it ends, and Tobin says, the end of the fight is what we're fighting for, and Carol says, winning just means we get tomorrow, and after that, no guarantees. And I thought, wow, she has my number. She knows what I'm bummed about right now. So that's what I'm kind of bummed about. Just a little bit. It's a small criticism.
I can see that, and I think you're right. This is another battle in the war, and both sides took some losses. I think Hilltop took more losses than the Saviors, actually.
Sure.
But it's another battle in the war, and I'm not sure if it changes anything. This new tactic got introduced. I'm totally, like, as soon as I knew that the mid-season finale wasn't going to be the end of this war,
you settled in. I'm
like, okay, it's going to be the end of the seasons. The finale is going to be the end. And so I'm not like going, oh, I wonder if it's going to be this episode. Oh, damn, it wasn't. I'm just like, no, we're going to be here until the end of the season. If it's not the end of the season, then I'll be like, what? But not right now, not episode 13.
You're smarter than I am, because I keep thinking that they're going to end it midway through. And then they're gonna and then they're gonna set up for the next story. But obviously, You're absolutely right. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Well, we got 3 more episodes, so it's not that much longer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I think this back half has actually been pretty damn good.
It has.
Yeah,
I loved last week's episode.
Right. Yeah, I think we should give the show a little credit for how it's been lately.
Oh, 100%. I'm sorry. It's a very small criticism. And
sure. No, it's valid. You're right. I didn't consider that, but yeah, we'll see. But I don't really think it's changed anything. It's changed something for Carol. Her ex-boyfriend's dead, but I don't know. I mean, did you think Carol was saying, I kind of, I left when I, felt it getting real with you, and I think that is part of why she left, because she didn't want to have to be responsible for people she cared about, because she decided she didn't want to kill anymore, and that she thought that might get someone hurt, and so that might have had something directly to do with Tobin. But now, by telling him that she started to feel real with him, and also suggesting that she probably wasn't going to leave, do you think she was opening up the door for the relationship to continue?
Yes.
What about Ezekiel?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing explicit between them, but I always think that,
there's good chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a love triangle between Ezekiel, Carol, and Zombie Tobin.
You know what? In the zombie apocalypse, polyamory is probably fairly common.
Zombie Emery.
There are lots of groups of zombies. We don't know.
Yeah. What if she was like, yeah, I almost was falling for you, and now I feel more at peace, and like actually something could be there with you, Tobin, but I kind of like this other guy, Ezekiel.
Is that cool with you?
Hot. Yeah. Like, do you
Is
ever
that okay?
You know about the triangles?
I like it.
Cultural norms out the door, right? Zombie apocalypse.
But, sadly, we'll never know, because Tobin is got to be zombie Tobin, and now he is former zombie Tobin.
Yep, at the hands of Carol.
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, well, with that, let's go to our first sponsor this week. I like things that simplify what I already have to do, crap that I don't even really want to have to do, but I got to do it. So this makes it really simple, saves me some money. And this is one of those. As a bonus, it also makes something that can take up time in your day and be a hassle into something that's actually fun. What is it? It's Simple Contacts. So Simple Contacts is a convenient way to renew your contact lens prescription and reorder your brand of contacts from anywhere, from your home, in minutes. How do you do it? You download their app. You actually take a vision test using the app.
Cool.
You prop it up. And you walk backwards until you can see that it says you're the right distance away. And then you read the letters, and I think it hears you. And it's really quick. It just takes less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, man, going to the eye doctor can eat up a good part of your day. But this is super quick. And this whole thing is designed by doctors and licensed ophthalmologists. And they review and every test carefully to make sure that your eyes look healthy and that your vision hasn't changed and all that. Then
I love that.
You choose which brand of lens you want, and they have this list that has every brand of lens I've ever tried, plus a bunch I've never heard of. And they have options for astigmatism, multifocal lenses, colored contacts, everything you could want. The test costs $20, but if you compare that to the cost of a doctor's visit,
yes,
and also the time, it's nothing. So if you want to get $30 off your contact lenses, even more savings, you go to simplecontacts.com/deadcast and you enter the code deadcast at checkout. This is not a replacement for your periodic full eye health exam, but it's great and convenient for when you just need to get your next set of contacts. So again, to get $30 off contact lenses, go to simplecontacts.com/deadcast and enter code deadcast at checkout. Thanks, Simple Contacts.
Thanks, Simple Contacts.
Okay, my number 3 is all about revenge, because there were a few people who were kind of centered on seeking revenge in this episode. And the top one is Maggie, who,
yes,
I liked when she was talking with Simon. At first she said, "I'm the widow," because Negan had been calling them the widow and whatever.
Well, she did say, "I'm Maggie Ree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the widow." So she introduced herself.
Yeah, but it's all about, this episode made me realize that the whole way Maggie has been acting since Glenn died has been to get revenge by killing Negan.
Yep.
And she spent the whole battle looking for him, even keeping the prisoners there. I thought she was doing that as a bargaining chip. But this episode, when Simon makes it clear he doesn't care about the prisoners.
Yeah, what a dick.
Gregory goes, "Did you really think that cockamamie play would work?" Maggie said, "It will." And I'm like, "It will? What are you going to do?" But then when she talks to, what's her name? Diane, she reveals that I just kept these people here because I knew it would lure Negan here.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kill him. And you saw how prepared they were for that. And she knew that it would be at the cost of some of the lives of the people she cares about.
Yeah.
But she's so focused on that revenge.
Yep.
And then when that one dude was like, "You're such a good leader," not like Gregory, who's in it just for himself. And it was like, nah, she kind of it's pretty clear that she sees all of them as pawns, not just the prisoners, but the Hilltop people too. Whatever it will take to kill Negan.
She even said during the battle at one point, I can't remember when this was exactly, but she said something like, "Where is he?" And at first, I thought she was talking about Rick, but I don't think so. I think she was talking about Negan.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the dude, she's talking to Alden, nice guy, savior guy.
Yeah.
"We can get outside the gates with a guard so you can bury your people. We can get you outside the gates with a guard so you can bury your people." He goes, "They're not mine, but I'm glad you see them that way as people." I think he's clued in that she's sort of blinded to her anything but getting revenge. And that's kind of the theme of what's going on with her right now. And this episode called "Do Not Send Us Astray," and that's because of this line that Sadiq says to Rick. He's trying to recite this scripture, Muslim scripture, and it's a prayer for the dead, and it ends in "Do not send us astray after them." And he's reminding Rick that the dead wouldn't want their loved ones to be consumed by revenge over their deaths and go off on some path.
Yeah.
And Rick doesn't want to hear that, and especially not from the guy that has something to do with the death of his son.
Yes.
I don't blame him. But anyway, I think that's to Maggie and to Rick, that they're so focused on revenge that it might actually have a cost, which she mentions at the end too, the cost.
That's it. And she said at the very end, she's looking at the graves and she says the cost. And I'm like, oh, she gets it. She gets it.
Yeah, I mean, she knows. I mean, the fact that she had not been transparent about that with everyone, like this one dude who became a zombie later, that's like, I already mentioned this, but he said, "You're such a good leader, not like Gregory, who's in it all for himself." And she kind of nodded, but she's like, well, but the fact that she actually did spell it out for Diane makes me think, she's not so much hiding her intentions, you know, but I wish she would have been more explicit with everyone beforehand. That would have made it more okay. Like, you know what? I'm really pissed off that Negan killed my husband and I want him dead. Are you guys on board?
But
and that's why I'm doing all this.
Don't you think that there's, I mean, yes, revenge is in there 100%. But don't you think that there's another part of it, which is Negan is the guy who is the top general of the saviors, and if you get Negan, if you cut off the head of the serpent dies. And so if they want to end this war, she knows as well as anybody else, you have to get Negan.
I do.
And so while she has this bloodlust to kill him, because obviously he killed our Glenn, he killed my Glenn, I want him dead.
Yeah.
And he killed some other people too. Fine. Abraham, love you, baby. But yeah, Dr. Denise, loved you too. But she knows that if there's the way that we're going to stop this, the only way all this stupidness is going to end is if fucking Negan dies. And that is what she's gunning for. So I think it's both.
I do too. And I think that the main thing that's driving her is her need to get revenge for her husband dying. But she can fall back on all that other stuff that maybe it is actually the right thing to do for everyone. And that's true. So it's okay. But it's like, it's good to be honest with yourself about why you're really doing something. And she is. I mean, when she said that to Diane, I think that was good for her to get that out. So you can be a better leader when you really understand why because then, you know, if you're blinded to what your real motivations are, then it can be dangerous for everyone around you, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, like that's what the point was. She was looking at those graves and I think the point of the episode was at least to question, did all these people die just so I could try to get my revenge? And it didn't even succeed, you know? And you're right, it probably is the thing to do anyway. But there's some sketchiness to it, like that she's being reactive a little bit. And I've been saying that about her. And I love the way Lauren Cohan has been playing this role since Glenn died, that she seems like a different person. And I was talking to Lucy about that. She seems older and her mouth gets more tense. Like it feels like something that a really strong, hardened Southern woman would be like, which she's supposed to be. So
right. She's the kind of woman that will dig into a cherry pie without any utensils.
Yeah.
We have seen that.
The other person who wants revenge is Henry, who, a little kid, goes in with his machine gun. And that was really tense. He's like there in front of Gregory. And right after the zombie action, you see little Henry. And I'm like, God, this is a good episode.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. I love freaking weirdo psycho kid Henry. It's really disconcerting, by the way, to see a tiny kid. Yeah. I mean, he's little. He's this little toe-headed child holding that kind of weapon and making those kinds of threats. Yeah. I wanted to tell him, hey, kid, those are grown-up threats. I mean, oh my God. And then, of course, because he's a little kid and he doesn't understand, you do not open the gate.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you've got a gun and you're threatening people. You don't need to.
No. And by the way, it's not like it's a concrete wall that you're blasting through. It's
Yeah,
a very
that's what I'm
wide gauge fence that you could.
The thing that was kind of cool about it is that he when he did open the gate, you saw them all stiffen up. Like it seemed more intense for them.
Yes.
So that was kind of cool. But as much shooting as there was in this episode, it was Henry saying, "I'm going to count to 10 and then start shooting," that reminded me of all these school shootings going on. Because a little kid, someone who just, you shouldn't have a gun. That was what kind of brought me to that. Is like, man, this is messed up, dude.
Yes.
And I'm glad he didn't really open fire on them. He did start firing a little bit once the zombie savior woke up, but I don't know if he was just shooting at the zombie or what. But it didn't last long because he got incapacitated somehow.
What happened to him? Do we know?
Yeah, I don't think we know. At the end, someone mentioned that Henry let the saviors out or something, but I don't know if we know what happened to him.
Yeah, he's on the ground. We know that, but honestly, we don't know much of anything else that's going on. So I was wondering. I saw one review that, bless you, that said something like he's dead, but
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he was on the ground. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I think he got hurt, but I don't think he died.
It would be
We'll see.
wildly ironic if what's the jerko's name who
Jared.
was in. Yes, if he grabbed Henry and then Henry's now his hostage.
Took off with him.
Yep. Yeah, that would be funny, actually.
Then the other one is Tara, who has wanted to get revenge on Dwight, and she seemed to be even more blind to, I don't care what's going on, I just want to kill. That whole sequence with Jesus a while back, just kill them all. We don't have time to worry about.
Right.
And now all of a sudden she's changed over because Dwight, she saw, actually tried to help her a couple episodes ago or whatever. And I was a little bit like dubious about that. She just seemed like she didn't care if Dwight was a good person or not because she knows Dwight killed Denise and fuck him. But then when she realized that Dwight actually did switch sides, now she's like, no, I love Dwight. Or she says, I always hated him, but now she wants to be on his side. But it was interesting that they actually did address the parallel between her with the governors. People.
Right. They talked about it.
Yeah.
Which was great.
And I still maintain the difference is that she was with them, but she didn't really understand what he was like. And Dwight was with Negan, and he was being a total bully and killed Denise. So that's different. Dwight was way worse. But either way,
in Dwight's defense, he meant to kill Daryl.
yeah, which that wouldn't have been so bad. No, just kidding. But yeah, speaking of Daryl, so Daryl, I watched back the second time, and he actually saw Dwight skulking around, and he saw Dwight shoot Tara, and then when Tara turned around, she saw Simon there, so maybe she thinks Simon's the one who actually shot her. In which case Daryl should have said, Dwight's the one who actually shot you, right? He didn't say that. He said, I saw him try to kill you. But right. We know that, or at least we're pretty sure Dwight did that to save her. But anyway, she's defending Dwight to Daryl now. So that was pretty interesting.
She can never, I'm sorry, Dwight can never integrate into the Hilltop community. I mean, maybe he can, maybe, but the odds are looking worse and worse for him ever fitting in.
What do you mean? Well, he used to have Tara and Daryl against him. Now he only has Daryl.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
He's going in the right direction.
You're right. But he shot his main defender, so just saying.
She's still standing up for him.
Yeah, weirdly.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it did seem a little strange that Tara flip flopped so completely. Don't you think? After how intense she was about that.
Yes, I do. And Daryl kind of flip flopped too, because originally he was like, follow orders, and he was about keeping Dwight safe in the woods, and they kind of did do a 180, a flip flop.
Yeah. People always flipping and flopping around. Morgan's crazy. Morgan's fine. Morgan's crazy again.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
What?
Where were we?
2.
My number 2 was O. Henry. Also a delicious candy bar, but we already really talked about that and broke that all down.
Okay. Mine's short. Sadiq. I liked how Sadiq handled this testy nurse woman.
Nurse Ratched? Yes.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? I'm like, dude, just like he's here to help.
Hello.
But then
She
he's
did.
like, well, she eventually accepted it when he said, there's a lot I haven't done. I know that. But from my first day at the hospital to this moment right now, all I've done are things I've never done. And she's like, I like you. So that was fun. That was a good little, and then she died.
Yes. And then she died.
First time we've ever seen her. It was interesting that we've never really seen a lot of these places inside Hilltop. That was sort of a mystery. And then the first time we do see them is when all this zombie action happens. And I don't know, for some reason I kind of like that, but I don't know.
You know me, I actually like seeing how the stuff works. So if they had an episode that was just sort of a day in the life of Hilltop, this is how Hilltop operates, I would watch that show and I'd be the only person watching it, but I would be the person watching it going, okay, good. Okay. That's how they get water. Okay. Let's see how they store their food. All right. Let's see how they grow their crops. Let's see where their animals are at. That would be me. I like the logistics of their operations.
Back in the day, one of my favorite comics was X-Men, and it was a team of superheroes who lived at the school for their kind. And every once in a while, the writer Chris Claremont would have an issue where they were just like playing a game of baseball or something.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it was all about the interrelations between them and stuff like that. But it just slowed things down a little bit and had a day in the life kind of thing. And I liked it a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Please, I would. Okay, if any writers hear about us talking, maybe consider even just a little 10-minute segment.
Yeah,
it wouldn't
a
have
lighter
to be
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and just show us how some of the things work. I want to know, especially now that what's her butt Maggie has the keys to the kingdom, which is the book of knowledge from Georgie, and she knows now how to build a windmill. I'd like to see her like out there trying to build a windmill. Be cool.
But I also want to say, writers, please actually don't do that, because the show might tank and be canceled. We're just talking.
We're down to one viewer, Karen, who wants to see a windmill. One of my favorite.
You'll have at least one viewer if you do.
I freaking love things like, I love the This Old House and things like that. I'm such a nerd.
Yeah, no, that stuff's popular. So, do you like Sadiq as much after this episode? He had a little bit more of more color this time, more shades of his personality.
I loved him more.
Cool. Me too.
I loved
like
him more. I feel like that's
he got a little like angry with the nurse lady, but
yeah, that's how you got to stand up to a bully.
Yeah. And he was tending to Sadiq's wounds on the battlefield when he was trying to tell that scripture to Rick.
Yes.
I was like, and Rick's like, I forget what he did, but he just took. I was like, dude, you better just shut up.
Yeah. Read the room, pal.
Yeah.
Rick does not want to hear any beautiful poem right now. Or maybe ever.
Okay, number 1.
So actually my number 1 was the Daryl Tara stuff, which we kind of already covered. So I'm going to say something, an alternative. I'm going to say this might have been the last time we saw Morgan.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, I have decided after polling our Facebook listeners that we should not be secretive anymore about the crossover character of Fear the Walking Dead. So for the 2 guys out there who don't know, you can write to me and yell at me, but it's Morgan.
Or write to me. Sorry, I didn't even consider that. Yeah, no, really write to me because
No. I'd already just before this episode, I was like, dude, we need to start talking about this. So it's been on all the ads and everything.
Yes.
And if you didn't know, sorry.
And I'm so excited because honestly, to be completely candid, I saw a Fear the Walking Dead commercial
Yeah.
during this episode. Actually, it was during the Talking Dead episode that I saw the Fear the Walking Dead commercial, and it was an extended one, and there was music, and it was the best. I mean, honestly, I probably liked it more than any Walking Dead. Just this extended preview of the coming season of Fear the Walking Dead was so great that I was like, damn, I have got to start watching that episode. I loved it just from that trailer. So I'm really excited. I'm going to start watching Fear the Walking Dead. Woo!
Well, I've been avoiding these trailers because I already love Fear, and I've been telling you season 3 was awesome, better than Walking Dead had been lately. And I read a review of the first 2 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead season 4, and it said it's better than anything The Walking Dead has ever done. Who knows? I mean, I try not to let my expectation, but it's nice to hear that it's a positive, so I'm stoked for this season. They switched showrunners, but it sounds like they're doing good, and they're bringing in Maggie from Lost, and Morgan's going over, and the actors that are already on there are really good. The guy that plays Nick and Coleman Domingo who plays Strand. It's just great. So I'm more stoked than ever to get back on. I'm like let's get this season of Walking Dead over so I can get back into Fear. Yeah.
I want to spin through season 3 of Fear.
You should.
So that I want to.
Well, if you do that, then you should come guest co-host when we do that sometime. I don't even know who the co-hosts are going to be yet, but you should come guest sometime.
Okay. Mm-hmm. If I do that, I would love to, because that looked really great, and I'm very excited. So that was my number 1.
I mean, there was some really good stuff in season 3 too. Okay, my number 1 is Morgan, and we have Ghost Gavin, or he's really a hallucination, saying, "You know what it is? You were supposed to." And I thought what he was saying is, you were supposed to kill me and not let this little kid do it. But it's very cryptic. You were supposed to, and that still doesn't explain, what it is. Then I went online and looked, and was reminded that in Here's Not Here, one of our favorite episodes where Morgan meets the cheesemaker.
Yes.
They had some flashbacks to when Morgan was in Crazy Town, where he wasn't clear, that season 3 episode. And he was yelling at an unknown figure, which now I think is probably a hallucination, saying, you were supposed to, you were supposed to, you were supposed to, don't lie. And then after putting down a dozen zombies and burning their bodies, he says, you know what it is. And I think he's talking to Dwayne, who was supposed to kill his zombie mother, but couldn't do it. So his mom killed him. Because then later Morgan says, you had the knife, you had the gun, you were supposed to.
Yeah.
And then he knocks over this lantern and burns it all and leaves. So I think he's back in this post-traumatic state right now, where before, when he was like that, he just had to leave. And so, maybe now he's going to take off for Fear the Walking Dead because he's in the same state of mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he also, the part that you don't know what it is, I guess in that same episode, Morgan said 16 hours and 19 on the floor. You know what it is. I have no idea what that means.
16 hours
but
and 19 on the floor.
I kind of like that we don't know, because it's like, you've seen, I don't know if you've seen, but I've seen crazy guys walking down the street yelling to themselves.
Yep.
And you don't know what it is that they're talking about.
Nope.
But it was one thing that I thought, oh, maybe this is a clue. At the end of this episode, Ghost Gavin says, you know what it is, you know what it is, and then they cut right to Maggie staring at Graves, and Diane's looking at her, seeing something's wrong, and goes, what is it? Right after they said, you know what it is, and then Diane's like, what is it?
What is
and
it?
Maggie goes, the cost.
The cost.